Hello, we are live with another Support Local Facebook Live. And if you haven't caught these before, the intention is to give you ideas of local businesses and small businesses that you can support during the holiday season. So just give you some different ideas of holiday gifts, because when you shop local, the money stays within your community because local business owners spend their money within the community. They go to restaurants, they go to stores, they pay taxes. So when you buy local, your money stays local, which helps us. When you send your money off to the big box stores, you are helping someone buy a third or fourth vacation home. And I don't think they really need that right now. So today's guest is an exception. We've had a couple of these exceptions. She is not local, so we would be helping support the Ohio economy, but that's okay because she's a good person and it's a small business. So, and actually she has supported us here. If you've heard me talk about the auction that we're doing for Euros Planet, she's made a donation there. So Jeff Bezos hasn't called me with any money. None of the big box people have donated to our fundraiser, but Nikki has. So Nikki, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Well, the name of my business is Nikki's Organic Salt Free Seasonings. And the reason I actually started doing this wasn't really to start a business. It was basically to have a healthier option for me and my family. And once I started sharing a few of them with my friends and my family, it kind of just took on a life of its own. So here we are. And I want to talk for a minute about how healthy my seasonings are. I think a lot of times when we think about our eating health, we might not necessarily think about the seasonings that we're putting on our food, even though we may be thinking about the foods themselves. So, for example, ginger. And I wrote a couple notes here because I don't want to leave anything out. Ginger actually helps with acid reflux. It's an anti-inflammatory, an antioxidant. It helps lower. It can help lower blood sugar, chronic ingestion, menstrual pain, lower cholesterol levels, and the list goes on.
And it actually I'm not a physician. During cold and flu season, in Chinese medicine, ginger helps you get rid of a cold as well. And
yeah.
Hey, Queen joined us.
Hi, Queen. So yeah, this is one of the herbs that I use a lot. Ginger, and also lemons. Lemons support heart health. It can aid in weight control, digestive health, prevent kidney stones, protect against anemia, and reduce the risk of cancer. So the herbs that we use are very healing. And a lot of times the store-bought herbs that we choose go through a process of irradiation. And what that is a heating process that they put these herbs through to kill bugs, germs, and bacteria, which in of itself is fine. But the downside is that the heat that they use is so high, it damages the healing processes or the healing ingredients in these herbs. So we lose the things that we need for our bodies to heal ourselves. Because a lot of what we need to heal ourselves is actually in nature. And the preservatives and additives that are put into the seasonings as well as our food just hinders all that. So my idea was to eliminate salt, which is another thing that's not so healthy. I know in my family, we have a long history of high blood pressure. It's a staple in my family history, and salt contributes to that. It can cause bloating, high blood pressure, heart disease. So the elimination of salt in our diets, I think, is really important. So this is why I started the business, because, like I said, friends and family started sharing, and the reach just kept getting bigger and bigger because a lot of people are concerned with their health, especially during this COVID season that we're in. We need things that help boost our immune system. And yeah, so, and I use a lot of lemons. And you can go online and look, just think of the herbs that you like, the ones that you use, and go online and just look them up and find out the health benefits and the properties that are actually in our herbs that we use on our food. Because I don't think we always think about that. We just think about flavoring, it's seasoning for our food, but we don't think about the health properties that these herbs actually have. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
and
you're
I like
speaking
to raise awareness of surrounding that.
You're speaking my language now, because one of my professors, one of the first things she told us was you always start, when someone has a health issue, you always start with food first. Food is always the number one thing.
Yeah.
And acupuncture is like the third or fourth thing. And then medication comes after that, surgery comes after that. So the importance of food. And Hippocrates said that as well. But also, in America, we tend to only use a couple of spices and not use a variety of things.
Yeah.
And if you think about food like Indian food, traditional Indian food, there's a lot of different flavors and spices. And having that variety in the foods and the spices they use are very, very healing. So I like that with your herbs, you're doing a blend. You have lots of different blends that you offer that are introducing us to more flavors and spices and gives us more healing properties.
Yeah, and I think people need to expand their horizons when it comes to herbs, because I think a lot of us have grown up and we've become accustomed to using salt, and we think it takes salt to make our food taste good when it doesn't. If you're using the right herbs and spices, your food can taste amazing without the salt. So that's my goal, to spread the word and spread awareness and help us not only make our food taste good in a healthy way, but heal our bodies in the process, and that's important.
So another thing I like about yours is I'm not that creative when it comes to cooking, and you have a lot of blends already created that can give you ideas. Do you want to talk about some of your blends and show us some of the things you have?
Yeah, well, this one blend is not done, and this is something pretty unusual, but because I take special requests. Like a friend of mine, she called and she said, "Nikki, can you make me a blend of celery, onion, and garlic?" And I said, "Sure." Um, and she liked it so much, I said, "Okay, well, I'll just add it to my list and offer it to customers." And it's become one of my more popular things. So that's another reason why I like to tell people, if you know the herbs and spices that you like to use and it's not on my list, let me know. I'll blend it for you. So I have no problem creating custom blends. This one isn't quite finished. But a friend of mine asked me, she said, "Nikki, can you blend some thyme, some ginger, and some cloves?" She said, "Because I put it in my tea." And I said, "I can absolutely do that for you." So yeah. So I'm here to help. Because I don't know, it gives me ideas. When people say, "Can you blend this or can you blend that?" Absolutely. Because it makes other people aware. Oh, maybe I want to try that, or and people tend to like it. So yeah.
Yeah. And you do ship, so while you're in Ohio, we still can purchase and send gifts anywhere, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you can reach me on my Facebook page at Nikki's Organic Salt Free Seasonings. Um, and yeah, I do ship. Um, and for just a moment, this is another. I'm trying to get used to this, which way to move my arm. But this is another seasoning that's pretty popular, and this is the lemon pepper seasoning, which is part of the auction that you spoke about. My lemon pepper and my all-purpose seasonings are two of the seasonings that are on the auction. So, if we can place the link down there, people support. This is a restaurant, that's helping feed the homeless. So they need our help. We need to help them help others. This is just a garlic powder. Everybody loves garlic. I know I do. I use it all the time. I can never get enough of it. This is a Cajun seasoning. So yeah, I've got about maybe 23 staples on my list right now, but it continues to grow.
And I entered your Facebook page right there. So that should help. I'll link it once we get out. I'll be able to link to your Facebook page as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
And you don't have a website up yet, correct? You're working on that?
I'm working on it. Yeah, right now I'm just on Facebook. I have my Facebook business page. So I'm expanding slowly but surely. We're getting there.
You're not going to have time. You're going to be so busy making the blends.
I know. It's keeping me busy for sure. But I don't mind, because it's COVID. I'm on lockdown, and it actually was birthed because of, me wanting to keep busy because I live alone. So I need something to do to occupy my time, and that's just a wonderful thing that just kind of created a life of its own. So I'm really happy about it.
I also love that a lot of this comes from your garden as well.
Yes, in the summertime, my son and I both have a garden. Well, we had one, it's Ohio, not growing season now. So even though I don't have access to a garden, I still shop organic. So everything that I use in my spices, even though it may not come from my garden because of the season that we're in right now, it's still organic. I generally shop at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, and I make sure that what I pick up is organic. Because of my health issues, I try to eat organic as much as possible and try to get rid of all the additives and preservatives because those things just don't do us any good. And we wonder why sometimes we have so many health issues. And I believe that's part of the reason why, because of the additives and preservatives, the artificial colorings, and, they put a anti-caking in there. It's just so much stuff in those seasonings that we just aren't even aware of. And mine are fresh. Like this lemon pepper, these lemons were dried and ground on Monday. And this particular seasoning will be on somebody's table tomorrow. You're not going to get that freshness from the store. And when you open them, they just smell amazing. When you get
I wish that you could smell on Facebook.
Oh my goodness. Yes, they smell amazing. When you get your herbs and spices out of the store, the pre-made spices out of the store, you have to actually take the lid off and put it up to your nose to smell it, to actually smell it, because you don't know how long it's been there before it's gotten to the shelf. You know what I mean? But these Nikki's Organic Salt Free Seasonings, you smell these amazing ingredients the moment that you take off the lid. It's just amazing. I love them. And like I said, I started doing it for myself, and I liked it so much, I started sharing it. And like I said, it just took on a life of its own, and it's just been amazing.
The other part that I love about it is, we know there's all these studies that have been done that show our intentions and mood can change things. So we can impact water molecules in plants. So I love the fact that when you're creating these, you're thinking about your family and your friends that you're creating these for and the love you have for them. And that impacts the properties of the herbs and the spices. And it's different than factory produced. So yeah. I love that aspect as well.
Yeah, they're made with love for sure. Like I said, we have so many health issues in our communities, and a lot of it is because of the food that we eat. So, and I have 2 grandbabies now, so I'm trying to stick around for a while. And I know there's, other people out there too, just for themselves. We want to be here and with our families as long as we can, and our food it's a significant element in that.
And Laura, I'm right there with you. I'm wishing we had them right now, so we'll have to get our order placed. Maybe I'll order and you can pick up from me or something. But the shipping isn't expensive anyway. We can order our own orders also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for joining me. Anything else you wanted to share that we didn't cover?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. But I want to take a moment, Amy, and put the spotlight on you, because what you do is just so amazing to me. You're supporting local businesses, and I'm just proof that your reach stretches far outside of your community. And I just think what you do is just so awesome. So I'm honored to be here, and thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. I was going to tell people I'm not a big fan of Facebook in a lot of ways. I think it can bring about some negative things, but Nikki is an example of the positive of Facebook because we've never met in person. We've only met through Facebook, and I feel like we've been friends for a long time, and we've never even met each other. So there's good things in Facebook too, and it can connect you with good people.
Well, thank you. I just love your spirit.
And Moshe, thanks for joining us as well. So now we can ship the spices from Ohio to California.
Absolutely. I mean, I've shipped spices. I've got customers in California and Texas. I've shipped to Florida. I've shipped to Georgia. So I'm getting out there.
And Moshe, when I was talking to you offline about Queen, this is her sister-in-law that we're talking to right now. So it's funny how we have this little circle going just on this Facebook Live.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, you can meet some awesome people on Facebook. Amy's proof of that.
Well, thank you very much. We have more of these coming up this week, and I do need to apologize. Yesterday, I wasn't able to do the one with Rebecca, so that is rescheduled for tomorrow at 11:30. She was very graceful about that. But the good news is I wasn't able to do it because we were talking to WGN about the auction, and so we got a lot more focus and publicity on that, and that is helping raise more money. So that was helpful as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think I saw they have a GoFundMe page too, Amy. Maybe we might want to post that down there in the link because I think we need to help them as much as possible because what they're doing is just so great for the community. You know, we can stamp out hunger. You know what I mean? It's man-made, and it just takes us to create it. I don't like to see people hungry.
Yeah,
there's no need for it. Yeah.
We have actually 3 or 4 different places in Evanston. So that's one. I'm going to be highlighting some other ones soon. So more to come.
Okay, all right. Good.
This will be downloaded at supportlocalevanston.com. So support local Evanston. If you missed the previous ones, you can check those out and there'll be more to come, but you can find them all there. Thank you so much for joining me. I think you're going to be doing a lot of these in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you.
Thanks again for having me.
Bye. Thanks for joining us, everyone.